collective reading. Now, there is always going to be somebody who's more interested in a relationship than the other. And there is always going to be well, not always, but in this scenario, there was an imbalance of goals. One person was more genuine than the other. And sometimes relationships don't work because somebody can't be them true selves. And their true selves could be avoidant. Their true selves could be that they're a deceiver, and that things fall apart when you question things, when you tear at the fabric of the foundation of something that's already on rocky grounds. When you say, I'm not going to bend to your will, so they walk out and they try and find somebody else who they can manipulate, who they can be fake with. Okay, Queen of Swords. This energy comes in when an individual is saying it's my way or the highway, right? Like, I'm ready to leave. I'm ready to cut this off. And so they leave and they think that you're going to come running and bending to their will, right? Sometimes people do that as a way to get what they want, to stand on top, so that they don't have to take accountability, so that they don't have to apologize, so that they can play the victim, so that they can be in control. And I feel like that's what happened here. Queen of Swords. This person wasn't being authentic. They weren't being their true selves. They were just trying to manipulate to get what they wanted. And when that didn't work, they had no other choice but to walk away, because they weren't going to change who they are. Because if you saw their true colors, you wouldn't want them, right? If you saw their true colors, you wouldn't want them. And sometimes things don't work out because of that. And I fully believe in rejection is protection, because it's true. And some things that you don't know are for a reason. Page of Swords, that doesn't mean that just because someone cuts you off, that they aren't gossiping about you, that they aren't looking at your social media, they aren't standing back and watching to see if you're going to come chasing after them, if you're going to give in to their wants and needs. I highly advise to not give in to someone's needs. Okay, if they cut you off because you weren't doing what they wanted, if they cut you off because they didn't want you to see under the veil of who they really are, of the pain, of the hurts that they have, okay, because then they'll have to face themselves. Six of Pentacles. Individual who is used to relying on the charity of other people, okay, and this comes out in different ways. Now, this could be somebody who's used to having somebody give to them. This could be somebody who's used to have someone give them all the attention and affection that they didn't get as a child, okay? They're used to other people's charity. And that isn't always money. It shows up in different ways. A lot of you guys have had a realization about somebody in the past year. And I feel like it could come as a relief, right? It comes as a relief to you when you see the patterns that this person had, because you dodged a bullet here. No doubt you dodged a bullet. If this person had stayed, if you had continued to let them take advantage or manipulate or lie or be inauthentic or whatever, you would just be sad and miserable. How did your body feel when you were around this person? What did your spirit feel like? These are telltale signs that a relationship isn't meant for you. Eight of Pentacles. And this is allowing you to grow in a way that you never see before, okay? You are going to be given so many new opportunities now that isn't in your life anymore because it was a distraction. And it's a great opportunity for you to grow, work on your own personal development so that you can attract somebody better. Eight of Pentacles. The self-development. Things, I think a lot of you guys still think about this because hello, Summit. Yes, I am from the US. A lot of you guys, this person is trying to get into your dreams, okay? If you're still thinking about them, a lot of the times it's hard for us to let go of certain relationships, and we're really confused. That's because that person was heavily manipulating you, and some of you guys, this person get you to come back in your dreams, okay? And people do that, like, and the reason that they do that is because so that they don't have to take accountability. If you come back to them, they don't have to change their ways. If you come crawling back to them, they don't ever have to apologize. They don't have to change their ways. They don't have to apologize. They don't have to do anything. Okay, so stand your ground on this. But yes, this is a situation where this person has heavy, heavy childhood trauma. And that is something that they're going to continue to project onto you. And it's not something that you can heal. A lot of you guys, this person could have played the victim as well. You are Mustafa. Oh, hello. Hello. What does the universe want you guys to know, those of you who are going through this? Yes. Oh, my God. This is amazing. I already said before, you guys had a breakthrough. You had a realization. You had a moment of clarity where you were like, this isn't it. It's like you saw through the fabric of their mask, okay? This person wears a mask all the time. They lie to themselves. And you're having an awakening here, okay? And this awakening is allowing you to call in what you want. The star here. I think that what I'm seeing here is you're seeing a way to get what you want, to have the good things come in for yourself, because the star is like so much healing, and on the other side of that healing is you aligning with your mission in life, your goals, mission in life. Okay, the awakening is that I need to heal from this in order to align with the greater good. This is what's best for you. The star card, the Aquarius card, yes. The universe wants you to know that things are happening for you. This being removed, this relationship, this person being removed from your life is what is going to lead you to this path of goodness. And the Five of Swords is, I do not like this energy, okay? This is the energy of the past. This is the energy of somebody who is only in it for themselves. This is a sabotage energy. And I feel like for some of you guys could have been sabotaging your own victory by being around this person. It doesn't always have to be a romantic relationship. Sometimes it's family. Sometimes it's friends. Sometimes we're sabotaging our own victory by allowing people access to our lives. But not anymore, okay? This is that energy of the past. This is the energy of the past. All right. Now, there was, even if you did see this person again, I feel like there's a lot of lies and deception. There's a lot that this person is hiding from you. A lot of you guys are going to have that moment, okay? You're going to have that moment in your life, whether this is a past friend, whether this is a past lover, whether this is a family member who is deceptive, okay? You're going to see, you could potentially run into them or see them out or something like that, and you're going to see them in a different light. It's going to be like, why was I ever tripping about this person? Why did I ever feel bad about this individual? Have you ever had that moment where, let's say it's a romantic relationship, you break up with someone, you know, you're so sad about it, you're so distraught about this breakup, and some time has passed, and you see them, and you're like, whoa, they are not as attractive as I remember them. Why was I tripping over this person? You know, you see them still doing the old things that they do, still lying, still manipulating, still wearing that mask, you know, maybe even they're bald now, or they've gained some weight, or like their clothes are terrible. You see them in a different light, and a lot of you guys are going to have that happen with this individual here, whoever they are to you. And you're going to see that the things that they were hiding from you, they weren't really hiding it. I feel like there was a part of you that knew what this person was. Some of you, you know, you could have been dealing with a cheater. Doesn't matter what this person was hiding from you, whether it was a romantic relationship, friendship, family member, you know, who was gossiping about you, because I feel like there is some gossip here, okay? And when I see the Page of Swords, it's like they're looking at, I feel like this person could even be looking at your social media to try and find things to gossip about, because they're trying to manipulate the narrative around you. They want other people to not believe what you say, because that's because if people knew what this person really was, they wouldn't want anything to do with them. because they're vapid, they're fake, they're not a real person. Two of Pentacles, I feel like this was the type of relationship where you took on too much, right? Because it was always a lot of work to convince this person to stay with me, and that was a manipulation tactic. That was a gaslighting tactic. You know, I always felt like this person was one foot out the door. Like they never really wanted to invest in me, you know. And I'll say it again, it doesn't have to just be a romantic relationship. All types of relationships can fall into these patterns. Yes, this is the type of person who, some of you guys, of course, it's always potential that there's a narcissist, but even if it isn't a narcissist, it's the type of person who has to be in control of all scenarios, makes people jump through hoops to prove their worthiness, right? That is a gaslighting tactic. It's a manipulation tactic. I don't like that at all. I hate this card. This is like my most hated card in this deck, because it's like making somebody subservient to them. You know, so that they can have all of the control in the relationship. I feel like there is even an air of emotional manipulation here. Queen of Cups in reverse, an emotional manipulator. Could even be like if they cried, that's even like a planned thing. Like them crying is like another tactic to keep you or to get you to feel bad for them. The emotional manipulator. Let's see what the good things are coming now that this has been removed from your life. What good things will come for the collective now that they've removed this from their life? Page of Cups. I feel a period where you're meeting new people. Yes, I feel like, of course, there could be a period of time where you're still dreaming about this person, but I think you're going to be meeting new people. Page of Cups. Maybe somebody younger than you here is a Page of Cups person. What else does the collective have to look forward to? Six of Swords, healing. I'm seeing a lot of healing elements here. I feel like some of you guys didn't realize how much this person or this energy was affecting your health, your spiritual, your mental, your physical health. Some of you guys could have even gotten sick being around this person, or like you felt more depressed being in their presence, because that's your body like literally was rejecting this person. And I feel like a lot of you guys are going to start to feel better. If you haven't gotten this person out of your life yet, or if they've been out of your life, you'll notice a difference. You're going to start feeling better, okay? Your health will be better. Your mental health will be better. Everything will be better. It's going to be smooth sailing. You'll even attract better opportunities into your life, because this was a distraction, right? And it was messing with your mental health 100%. So good things coming in now. If you were feeling in lack before, I feel like that's going to go away. There could be a brief period of time where you feel isolated or abandoned. That you're going to heal that, okay? Because you're going to realize that the type of company that this person was offering you was inauthentic. So when somebody is in your house, or they're in your vicinity, you're hanging out with them, and they're not being authentic, it doesn't really take away that lonely feeling. It doesn't really offer you comfort and support. In fact, it makes you feel uneasy. It makes you feel anxious. And you could notice that, but you still go through a period of withdrawal, of isolation, because you're kind of, and I feel like that's you facing your dark night of the soul. You're facing that and you overcoming that. Like, it is better to be alone with my own company than surrounded by someone who is fake. And I feel like you could have a period of where you're going through that. I'm sorry, I have a floor card. All right. So we have the Nine of Wands and the High Priestess here. So the High Priestess is feeling themselves. Okay, so you could, and I feel like this is you trying to get in touch with yourself again after having your walls up. And it's really important for you because you can trust your intuition. So you'll have to start trusting yourself again, trusting your judgment. And I feel like once you realize that this was bad for you, it's going to make you feel better about yourself and help you to lower your defenses here because you've been through a lot with this situation. Hafiki says, I am from India. Which country am I from? I'm from the United States. I am from the U.S. Let's see. We have the Fool. It's a spiritual journey. There's a very spiritual journey in front of you. Whether or not you actually physically make changes in your life, it's like an internal journey. A lot of lessons are going to be learned from this. And I feel like with the Fool and the High Priestess, it's so spiritual here. And I think some of you guys could be having a spiritual awakening coming out of this. Because it's going to be, like I said, you could go through like an ego death and experience an ego death and then have to start trusting yourself and feeling good in your own company again. Hello, Mandeep. I'm good. How are you? Learn to trust yourself. Learn to face that dark night of the soul. I say this all the time. If you don't know what your subconscious urges are, the reason that you choose things, then those subconscious urges are going to be driving you. So it's a good time to question why you were attracted to this energy. Like I said before, whether it was a friend, a family member, a romantic relationship who was being fake to try and manipulate you. Whatever. Hello, Yellow Rose. Hello. It's a good time for you to look at those subconscious drives, look at what is the reason for you wanting to be around that person, attracting that type of energy, allowing it into your space, allowing it to affect your mental, spiritual, and physical health as it did. I'm not sure what you're saying, but I don't like that. Okay. Gotta be careful in the comments, guys. Like Dan. What does the collective need to know right now? We have the Two of Wands. I feel like a lot of you guys are looking out. It's almost like looking out into the expanse to see what else is coming for you, what good things are coming for you. Two of Wands. And don't wait on this energy, okay? This energy is never going to change to this person. This person is a wolf in sheep's clothing. They're never going to change. They're always going to be searching for their next victim, for the next person that they can manipulate, because they don't want to face themselves. So now it's time for you guys to do that inner work and to face yourself. Okay, I want to get a different deck here. And let's see what Spirit has from the Divine. From the Divine, let's get some good messages for the collective who could be experiencing pain and loss. Pain and loss here. Queen of Swords in reverse. So a lot of you guys could go through a period where you're angry, where you're upset, where you're really hurt. And I know that in Buddhism, we tell people to transmute the energy of anger because it tears at your insides to be angry like that. Narcissist is almost been a year, glad to be done. It tears at your insides to be angry like that, but you do still need to experience that. That anger is a part of the healing process. It's a part of the grieving process, and to be able to transmute that anger into something else. But you could have all kinds of emotions that you're going to go through at first. Once you realize what this person was, what they were really, why they were really in your life, okay, what they really wanted, what they were hiding from you. Then you have the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Some of you guys are overgivers, and that's something that you need to heal right now. You could be feeling, there could be a period of time where it's hard for you to work. If you fall into a depression and you find that it's hard for you to work, okay, some of you guys could go through that. I feel like now is a time for you to ask for what you need. Some of you guys could need help. Go to a church and find some charity if you're needing assistance there. Get the help that you need and heal that overgiving nature that you have. Because a lot of you guys have that. And I feel like you could be even cursing yourself for being an overgiver if that's something that you have a tendency to do. Also, you could go through a period where you beat yourself up mentally, where you are talking down about yourself. Give yourself a hug. Be gentle with yourself, okay? It's not your fault that this person victimized you. Don't beat yourself up. Be gentle with yourself. Try and change yourself from the inside out. And but in the morning, you can do affirmations of self-love affirmations, because I feel like a lot of you guys could be having a lot of negative self-talk, especially after the breakup or the separation or the fallout here. Then we have the Force. A lot of you guys are going to be in a really vulnerable position. And be careful about meeting new people when you're in a vulnerable position, because what tends to happen is we attract more of the same type of energy into our life, because we're just looking for some validation. We're just looking for a coping mechanism. So let the coping mechanism be for you to protect yourself, for you to be gentle with yourself, and for you to be okay with yourself, not searching out somebody else right away, if that makes sense. Six of Cups in reverse. A lot of you guys are replaying events over and over again. Trying to analyze what happened, trying to analyze their behavior, trying to analyze your own behavior, trying to see what went wrong, and maybe even rereading texts. That is going to take you down a spiral, a negative spiral. You don't want to do that. You want to stop yourself replaying events, not trying to analyze it, okay? Get out of that headspace if you can. I know it's hard. But ruminating thoughts are our enemy. It's not helpful at all. We have the Nine of Wands came out more than once. I feel like because of what you guys have went through, whatever it was specifically to you, it's going to put you in a position where you have your walls up, where you're really guarded, and you could potentially develop trust issues now that you have to start trusting yourself. You have to start trusting your judgment. And you have to realize that not everybody is going to be like this person. There are some people out there who you can trust. So you want to surround yourself with people who you can trust so that you can put your guard down a little bit. Because you're going to potentially be in fight or flight mode after a period of time. Fight or flight. We have the Three of Wands in reverse. This is a good energy to be in. That's that energy of I'm not waiting for this person to come back. I'm done waiting. I'm done waiting for things to change with this individual, because it's not going to change. And even if they did come back, it's just going to be bad like it was before. Jennifer Lauren says, oh, wow, I needed to hear this. Not sure how I stumbled on your live, but I'm invested. Thanks, dear. Yeah, so don't wait on this energy. It's not going to change. And don't reread messages. Try not to reevaluate what happened. Then we have King of Wands. King of Wands. I feel like some of you guys could start to glorify this person. That sometimes happens. Like you put on, it's almost like a coping mechanism to focus on the positive features of this person. But they were this, but they were that, and they were so good in the beginning, and things like that. Like, just see things as they are. Try not to wear those rose-colored glasses, right? And it's even not necessarily good to analyze them, because it's not about them anymore. At this point, it's about you, okay? It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter how other people see this person either, because I think it's going to be hard. It's hardwired in you to want other people to see what you see about them. You can only protect yourself at this point. Yeah, a lot of you guys are thinking about what you could have done to prevent this from happening. Like, if only I had done this, if only I had done that. And that's just another coping mechanism. The Tower came in as divine intervention. Things fell apart they needed to. And I see the Tower as like the rug being pulled out from underneath us, but it's divine intervention. When things that were built on a faulty foundation fall apart, they weren't really meant to be in our life. Okay, Dilbert, I don't really know what you're doing with that. But yeah, so instead of thinking about what you could have done to keep this together, just realize that this was a divine intervention moment, and it's teaching you patterns in your life that lead you to be victimized, or that lead you to these type of situations, things that you need to heal. Like I said before, maybe that overgiving, maybe you're the type of person to fall into limerence with people. We can do this with family members, with friends, and limerence is when you tell yourself a story about someone. You tell yourself a story, you romanticize who they are, you build them up on this pedestal. A lot of people do that in the beginning, and you could even be doing that in the end, because it's kind of like a of denial. It's denial, and it's a coping mechanism. But we want to stop doing that. You want to be realistic and stop wearing the rose-colored glasses. The moon in reverse. Some of you guys could learn more things. As time passes, you could learn more things about this individual that you didn't know. And I feel like I don't know what to say about that one, because it's not necessarily helpful information to know more about what this person has done. It could just make you feel worse about yourself. So I'd be careful with that. Not trying to look for more information. How do I break out of a trauma? Well, I definitely think that you need to talk to someone. It's not necessarily something that you can do on your own. When I first came out, I had my own spiritual awakening, and I started going to support groups, because it's important to talk about things that you went through with like-minded people. Yes, therapy is very helpful. If you can't afford therapy, there's lots of support groups online. So you really do need to have support when you get out of this, because yes, if you were dealing with somebody who is abusive mentally or emotionally, then there's going to be things that pop up later that you need to work through. And the only way to do that is by talking about it, by getting the support that you need, therapy, support groups, journaling, meditation, all that stuff, all at the same time. But the first step is you've already taken the first step, musicology, because you realize that there's a problem. That's the first step. So now you just have to get the help that you need. Yeah, and there's lots of help out there. Okay, we have a card on the floor. We have the Seven of Wands in reverse. I'm not fighting for this anymore. Some of you could have been in a pattern with this individual where they pull back, or people do this. They'll say, oh, I'm going to leave you. I'm done with this. And, that's something that they do when they're not getting their way. And I feel like a lot of you could have been in a cycle where you fought for it. You gave into it. You did what you needed to do to keep them. You chased after them. Or if they were asking for a specific thing, like, if you don't do this, I'm going to leave you. And you could have gave into that for a while. But I feel like now you guys are in a position where you're not fighting for this anymore. You're not, which is good. But Seven of Wands in reverse is learning how to put your guard down, because a lot of you guys could be in fight or flight mode, like I said before. Going through this now, they're nice for a few days, and everything is great, and then suddenly they're a monster. Oh, dear. Never give in to anyone. If somebody plays that card with you, let them go, because it's a manipulation tactic. If you love me, you'll do this for me. That is always a manipulation tactic. And I've had somebody do that to me, and I give in, and now the real thing to ask yourself is, why am I allowing this? And usually it comes from a place of low self-worth, low self-esteem. You could have your own trauma. So this is triggering your own trauma. It's just it's just like a mirror to the things that you need to fix. And that's fine. Once you fix those things, you'll be able to attract better types of people into your life. This came out again. Some of you guys, it's going to be hard for you to stop waiting for this person to change. Stop waiting for them to come back if they did like break up with you or leave you or whatever. You could potentially be waiting for a while before you come out that I'm not waiting anymore, which is important for you to stop waiting for this person, because they're probably not going to change. All right, let's get some advice here. I have a lot of cards coming out. 6 of Wands. I feel like some of you guys are just could be feeling as though you need a win, you need a victory right now, and it's all in how you see it, okay? Like the victory is that this person isn't in your presence anymore, that they're not there to like ruin your life. It's the same thing if it's family. It doesn't matter if it's family, if it's a romantic relationship. You still have to put up boundaries. You have to protect yourself and limit interaction with this person as much as you can. You know, if you still have to see this person, that's when you have to learn how to put up boundaries, to be able to stand up for yourself and put up boundaries with people. I feel like it's even harder when it's a family member. So definitely get yourself a therapist. Namaste, greetings from India. Hi. Angelic number for financial abundance. Champion leader, we're going to do the free questions live. I'm going to do that sometime this weekend for you guys. But right now we're just talking about getting out of trauma, getting out of fight or flight. How to get out of that. Yeah, it's time to get some good boundaries. Learn how to put up boundaries. I don't think that's not something that you're taught in school. We don't talk about how to navigate relationships at all in school. Nobody ever teaches you that. You have to grow up and learn how to do it for yourself. It's not an easy thing to do. I don't think it ever becomes easy. But yeah, separate yourself from that person as much as you can. If you need to be around them, use hard boundaries. Five of Wands. So the Five of Wands is fighting. And I think that's probably what you experienced a lot, was a lot of pushback. And sometimes people even use other people against you, like competition. Like, well, if you don't give this to me, then I'm going to go talk to Susie. There's people who do that. They will like say that I'm going to go talk to other people or use other people to make you jealous. So, you know, even if you're like, let's, for example, if you're in a relationship and you're out and you have an argument with your spouse, you could see them going and talking to some other person to try and make you jealous as a way for them to manipulate you. So yes, people will use jealousy and arguments as a way to get what they want. Sometimes people will start fights on purpose. So you could have experienced that, you know, somebody was using other people to make you jealous, friend, family member, whoever, or that they were arguing with you as a manipulation tactic. Some people will argue with you, like they enjoy it. And I know it's crazy, but some people live in the chaos and they try and stir up chaos as a way to control things. And so I feel like that could take some time to heal that. Okay, I'm just going to get one more card and get it out of here. Hopefully you guys aren't dealing with this, because this is really crazy. Then we have the Seven of Wands, or the Seven of Swords. Straight up lying. Sometimes I see this as narcissist or psychopath, or somebody who's deceptive. Like, some of you guys could have dealt with someone who's just straight up a manipulator. That's just who they are. they're used to deceiving people. That's how they live their lives. So, and I'm hoping that you guys didn't encounter that, but straight up somebody here lying, being calculating, to being sneaky and being avoidant. All of these things together. Yikes. Okay, so let's get some oracle cards, and then I'm going to let you guys go. Yes, I will be doing the free questions live. So I do a free tarot questions live for all subscribers on the weekends. I'll be doing that this weekend as well. Probably, I usually do it on Sunday, so I'll probably be doing that on Sunday. If that intrigues you, you can hit the subscribe button. Come on out and get a free tarot question. All right, let's get some oracle cards. Hopefully we can get some positive cards, because that was kind of a messy. Shield yourself. Protect yourself from harsh or fear-based energies by envisioning a cocoon of healing light surrounding you. So stepping into your healing era starts with yourself by building a shield of protection and finding a peaceful place to go and visualize yourself being shielded from harm. It's a good visualization tactic. It's a good meditation if you have panic disorder or anxiety, as well as trauma here. Integrity. Align your actions so that they match your values and inner knowingness of what's right. That's what I was saying before with boundaries. Putting up boundaries is good for you. It shows that you have integrity for yourself and that you won't be pushed around. And it's hard to do. More card. Whoa, that one went flying. What is that? Let's get it. Archangel Michael. Your guides are always there to protect you. Archangel Michael says, you're working very closely with this powerful archangel who's protecting and guiding you through this situation. So we have a lot of protection around us. If you guys believe in angels, you can pray to Archangel Michael to put a shield of protection around you. Also, sometimes the angels will speak to you, if you believe in them, through synchronicities. So pay attention to that, because it's trying to protect you from harm, okay? All right, you guys, I hope that this reading elevated your consciousness in some type of way, shape, or form. I'm going to get on out of here, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.